So overall, porn, I think, is a pacifier for most men in society because most men are not thinking like that.
I'm against it because of kids, because of everyone.
I'm sorry.
This will not be something that you're going to see the immediate benefit of. It's going to be the next generations that will see the benefit. It won't be you.
How many men
They're not going to stop that. It makes too much money. Over half the world is not really sexually active. Those are the men that's pushing the porn world.
Kids are over-sexualized nowadays.
I know guys who chase it all the time and they lose out on life because that's all they thinking about.
A boy is going to be horny. God did not give us millions and millions of sperm cells that reproduce every 30 days not to use them.
But you don't understand the society that you living in where you already brainwashed a part of what's going on. You think they was really busting us in these tribal villages back in the day? You really think that? You think that's all they were thinking about was constantly?
No, they was They
were thinking about survival. So, see, when your mind is preoccupied with other, you ain't thinking about the dumb shit all the time. I'm telling you.
There is a bill being proposed that would ban corn in the United States, and this is dangerous for women. Now, bear with me because I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive. I think a lot of people believe that banning corn might actually be a good thing. It's doing a lot of detriment to young people and really warping their minds and their concepts of consent and normal, healthy sexuality. First of all, a lot of women are going to be out of work, and they are going to be the women who are some of the most vulnerable people in society. So we're not just talking about people who literally exchange sex acts for money, as you might be thinking. We're talking about strippers. We're talking about cam girls.
All right. So, man, you got this woman right here, basically, they're trying to do a bill that would possibly end corn in America, and she's basically saying that a lot of women gonna suffer because of it. They won't be able to do sex work, strippers, all this stuff, OnlyFans. She's saying that's gonna get worse, and women won't be able to expose their bodies. So she's advocating against it.
Well, God forbid they got to use their brain.
Facts. I feel like banning corn would be one of the best things they could do in America.
100%.
Kids do not have access to it. I will say that is probably the number one ruiner of young men is watching too much corn. But
you
go
are
ahead.
so wrong.
Oh man, I'm guilty.
Yeah, you are. You know why you are wrong. This is
okay.
Like banning corn is like banning alcohol. What happened during the prohibition? The United States have to understand one thing. Y'all are not the only country on the planet. There's just on the West. There's other 15 countries that get a bunch of cornstarch, so the people in your country, instead of consuming their own shit, they will literally buy a VPN and they will literally consume corn from Canada, corn from Europe, corn from Brazil. There's nothing you can do to stop that.
Country, but they're
trying. You don't think it'd be harder to do that though?
We can't sit right here and say that mitigating corn would not be a benefit to us. They're trying to autocorrect. They're trying to autocorrect for something that's already infested its way into a lot of men's lives.
You know why you're right, JB. We can look back at history. It's happened before in the 1930s in Germany. Weimaraner. They had a really bad pornography problem, and they got rid of it, and the country started to go up. Okay,
this isn't going to be something.
Go up. What do you mean go up? Like the
things got better. Things got better in that.
After the 30s, it was the Second World War, right?
Check this out. This will not be something. I know.
I'm very familiar with that, and I can't talk about that.
This will not be something that you're going to see the immediate benefit of. It's going to be the next generations that will see the benefit. It won't be you.
How many men?
They're not going to stop that. It makes too much money.
Pornography.
Too much money.
Regardless of the money,
you're right, Maul. I don't think it's gonna go away because it's too many people, like you said, are making money from it. But it would be an amazing thing. Actually, they did it. They did it in Texas. How many people are addicted?
Can I say this?
Hours watching pornography.
Can I say this? Do y'all know? Do y'all realize this?
The drug addicts overdose too.
No.
It's a lot of men in the world. Over half the world is not really sexually active. Those are the men that's pushing the porn world. Okay, y'all do realize that. A lot of men not getting sex like the top whatever percent they want to say.
Guess what?
A lot of men is not getting it. There's a lot of corny.
But if you're not putting that in their face, they're not going to be as sexualized as they would be with it in their face. It's one, no. It's one of
They're
those
gonna
things.
need to be even more.
Nope, let me tell you why. That's just like a virgin. People, you know, when a virgin hasn't had sex in so long, you're never going to like know what you are missing out on if you never had it.
She's still
So,
horny.
no,
Your biology.
It's not the same.
I don't care what you do. You cannot stop a man from getting hard, and you cannot stop a woman from getting wet. That is biology. Okay, I don't give a damn what you think about.
So back in the day, we didn't have. So back in the day when we didn't have porn, what were guys doing then?
Magazines.
I wasn't alive then.
You know what's funny? Let me tell you myself.
Imagination.
Because I live in Portugal, right? I live in Portugal. I only had cable when I was 16, something like that. I was jerking off to Christina Aguilera videos. Jay, where there's a way, I would go to empty.
I forgot. Yeah, you're right.
I would go to empty to see.
Hey, before it was porn, it was magazines.
You will ruin your own stimulation by constantly watching actual porn.
No,
regardless of
studies have been proven.
imagination.
Yes, it's been proven.
If you're able to bust off of your imagination, that's an amazing thing, because the people into now is so extreme that you can't have a normal situation now because you're watching the extreme of the extreme. If you can bust literally in the thought of your head, closing your eyes, doing that, you are not over
stimulated.
Stimulated.
You just ain't had none in a while. That's what it is.
That's a great thing though. Let's get more on the aspect of limiting the consumption for the youth. Granted, yes, it's possibly child, that out there, but we're trying to get into the fact of limiting it for the consumption of youth. I'm not saying it's bad for adults who want to probably watch or whatnot for sexual activity the whole nine, but I'm talking about more for the kids' consumption. And like you said, kids are gonna be horny. They're gonna want to, of course, but you don't want to over stimulate them by watching so much.
Kids are over sexualized nowadays.
And like you were saying, what about, control your kids. We always make these. What about the kids? Control your kids. This is not for kids.
You just gotta monitor.
What do you mean?
One second, please. Me saying I am against the corn industry because what about the kids is like saying I'm against bleach because there's some dumb.
I'm against it because of kids, because of everyone.
I'm sorry for screaming at you, but this is just becoming crazy. Like y'all just be jumping on people, okay? And I be doing too, but this is bad. Like it's bad for this bad.
My apologies.
This is totally
kids
fine.
Is insane.
Hold on.
What I'm saying is that you outlawing corn because some kids are going to watch it. Is just outlawing bleach because some dumb is going to drink it. It makes no sense. That's not for drinking. It wasn't making for drinking. My point is this: corn is overall good for society because it's a pacifier for men. You guys don't understand what horny men do when they don't get their fix. We talk about post-nut clarity and all these. Most of men in society are not having corn. These men are shooting schools. They are deleting people. They go crazy when they don't have their sexual urges. So I'd rather have a man that is sexually kind of a little upside and down because he jack offs too much, but he's kind of docile in society than having this man having no outlet, no rubbing, no nothing, and they will see you in traffic. And if you cut them off, they wipe your head because they're sexually frustrated. So overall, corn, I think, is a pacifier for most men in society because most men are not fucking like that.
So you think all societies overly indulge in porn constantly? All societies?
I think most society does, and I rather have corn to jack off and not jack off than I would say this. I rather have porn to satisfy myself and to go to sleep than to cheat on my wife with the milk lady.
A lot of guys do that.
Corn will stop me from cheating. Hey,
a lot of guys
I'm feeling my urges. Let me run one off before I go outside and I cheat on my wife.
A lot of guys do that, but like I said, I think it still has to set a precedent for the youth out there to where it's not so accessible and all over the place. Because if you go on anything now on the internet, it's gonna be a lot out there.
Yes,
so it's gonna be a lot.
Man, it ain't nothing angrier than a nigga that ain't let one loose.
Thank you very much. That's a fact.
Them niggas be angry for nothing. Like, damn, why you so mad? You need to get some,
man. I don't always agree with that though, man. Like I said, you have guys who can go long periods without busting nuts, and they be angry.
Hey, Jay,
they be angry.
Jay,
Oh.
no
It
man
ain't.
that
I'm gonna tell you what your body's naturally gonna do once you stop for a while. Once you stop for a while, your mind is gonna reset to where you're not going to be thinking about it as much.
I ain't
Facts.
never went that
I'm
long.
telling you,
that's not how
That's
it
a
you
works,
go
long
Jay.
long
motherfucking
enough,
time.
it will. No, I'm telling you,
Because you are on your
It's,
30s, Jay. Try to
nah,
do that to a
he trying to
21-year-old
say
and
I'm
see what
30s.
happens, Jay. Try to
Nah,
That's a
say,
long
hey,
motherfucking time.
oh, it will.
that
It
man will
will.
wake up
Trust
with a
me.
stain on his leg.
No.
That's not how it works.
Hey, JB, how long is that?
I don't think that's the case, man. Because
I
in a
say
man mind, he's
within.
always gonna be thinking about sex or poke. When you see, man, unless something goes haywire in your head, when you see a hot chick, man, you gonna be thinking about blaming her out, bro.
That's
You
not
not
true.
gonna.
That's not
Oh,
true.
you
Especially
serious?
when you horny and you see a beautiful
Man, are you
woman,
That's
she
crazy,
not
walk
true.
past, you
man?
smelling good.
Nah,
You mean to tell
That's
me
not
that ain't
true.
gonna
Yes, you
activate
are,
you?
man. You gonna
No.
think about blaming her
I'm not
out,
saying
bro.
I'm not saying you're not gonna be thinking about it, but it's not gonna send you into a fucking rage. Because then
right.
at that
Yeah.
point, y'all gonna sit here and say grape happen all the time.
No.
Really
No, they
think
gonna
about it.
go home
But
and
JB,
think
the thought,
about
Jay,
you.
No,
Think
that's
about the
the thought
female.
leads to
nah,
Jay,
actions,
that will
bro.
increase it.
The
no.
thought, no, JB, you taking it, you taking it out of context now. No. The thought, if you see a girl in the sundress, it's sundress season, family. All over the nation, it's sundress season. So if you see her shaking or whatever, you not gonna go jumping down on her, but that might
Okay,
send you
Okay.
okay,
home
hold on,
with
Jay,
D
you.
Dub.
Jay.
Hold on, D Dub. You've been talking a lot this whole time. I don't have low libido. I actually have high testosterone, bro. I've had my shit checked a little while ago, and my shit is actually on the higher side. I love having sex. I have sex with my wife consistently, but I also have a certain amount of self-control to where I don't have to be out here thirsty every time I see a woman. I got homeboys out there that be looking goofy a lot of the time. Every time they see a woman walk by, looking stupid.
Yeah.
I don't do that shit because I'm too busy to even thinking about it most of the time. So
That's because you got a girlfriend.
libido stuff, chill.
And
That's
this is
because you
the other
got that's
thing.
because you got a wife. A single
is-
nigga, when that pink thing come out, is over with. I don't
For
know what
sure.
you talking about.
No,
I
birth
for
don't know what
sure.
rates,
Hey,
you
you
birth
gotta
talking
rate,
about.
control
I
that
bust
pink thing,
no.
man.
birth
You
rates
can't
have
go off of that
consistently
pink thing all the
gone
time.
down. Birth rates
Let
have
me tell you
consistently
something.
gone down because
Because
a lot of men have addictions to pornography. Like you were saying, J Mall, way back when pornography was not such a thing. How hot grandpa had 11, 10 kids. You know
so
what I'm
it's
saying?
about
Now,
men
Hey,
watching
can
porn
I
or
ask y'all a question?
we know
before you
men
ask a
watch
question, please, Mac.
consume
I,
Before you ask a
pornography
question,
more than women do.
hey Kelly, respectfully,
go ahead,
is
Fatty
Yes.
man.
and I'm sorry, Mac. Is about men watching porn or is about women having 70,000 contraceptives and they want like we are fucking more than ever. Only 40% of men reproduce on the history of mankind, and it's still the same right
Man,
now.
Fatty,
It-
someone just said earlier in this live that most men are not having relations. What is that echo?
Kelly,
It don't.
yeah,
It don't.
somebody got something
Can I
playing in the
make one
back.
point real fast? The Bible says that God
Hold
said
on.
it wasn't good for man to be alone, so he made a woman.
Somebody's echoing. I don't know
that's
who
not
got
me. I
something
already made
playing.
myself. 1, 2, 3 testing. 1, 2, 3 testing.
Who
Keep
is it?
with them to see.
1, 2,
1, 2, 3 testing. I think. Oh no, there's not Jay. Okay.
That's
Nah.
small.
I think
Oh,
it's more.
I muted Maul. He didn't do it. It might be Red Pill.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's Red Pill.
It's red pill.
No, it's not
I
because
muted
he's muted.
No, I just
No, it's
muted
red
him.
pill.
I
It's
just
red
muted
pill.
him.
Go
I
ahead,
just
Mac.
muted him.
My bad.
Mhm.
No, you're right. You're right, Maul. Men
Yeah,
has
so
a woman. Men has women.
yeah, so how do you
the
expect
natural.
us not to want one? If they was made for, if God
I-
said it wasn't good for me not to have one, what makes you think I'm any good when I don't want one?
Men should want a woman. I'm not saying that I'm saying you remove pornography, men are more forced to engage with a woman. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
And
They gonna start taking.
check this out too. I think it also goes down to how busy and how much boredom the man has. Also, we're not gonna sit right here and say that we we not supposed to be putting our time into other things constantly instead of just chasing cat all the time.
No, you ain't
Because
gotta be
I
chasing it.
hold
But
on.
guess what?
No, but I
guess
know
what,
guys
though?
who chase it all the time and they lose out on life because that's all they thinking about.
No,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But guess what? For a man like myself that stay busy and get to the money, after I get to the money and then it gets time like this time right now, I want to lay up under something soft, man. I've been
And that's
getting
what I'm
money
talking
all
about.
day.
Like,
I want to lay up under something soft and chill and watch some movies or something, man. I don't want to stay by myself.
I know, I get it. 100%. I'm married. I understand.
Look, even the president of the United States, Donald Trump, motherfucker, has a corn star mistress. Bill Clinton got a blowjob on the Oval Office. These men are busy. These men work a lot. Still trying to the air dress. Like, this is what we do. Actually, I would say this. For most of us men that have a job outside the house, the only thing that keeps us going is that big booty on the counter on the motherfucking perfume store. We like to talk with her. She's nice to watch around. She's actually the one that makes our day actually be a little bit better. Even if we don't indulge in it.
Praise the God for hoes.
JB, guess what? If I go with your logic, you eliminate corn, and so that'll draw the man back to the woman. So what are you gonna eliminate from the women?
Here's the thing about
it. Wait. What are you gonna eliminate from the? You're not gonna eliminate the Birkin bags and all the other things from the women to attract them back to the man, bro.
I will say this.
So it's still not gonna work. It still won't work, bro.
I will say
just be
this.
the men to be more attracted to the women because they don't have no other option. But the women got 1,000 other options, bro.
Let me explain this.
It don't sound logical.
Let me explain this. I do believe that if something like that was to happen, I believe that it would kind of offset a few different situations, even with women, to where more things would possibly mentally fall in line. Where if let's say you have women not doing stripper work or online sex work, things like that, I feel like it would kind of change society slightly. I'm not saying it's gonna be perfect, but I think it would change it slightly. Mentality.
Hey, you know what, JB? Hey, JB, check this out, right? I'm glad I saw this comment down here. Okay. Most of porn and OnlyFans is occupied by married men.
By married men and prostitutes too. Prostitutes
so what do you say about that?
Because
it ain't the single men that's out here buying cat. It's you. It's you and your kind.
Yes.
I'm saying this. This is still about children consuming it.
So
I'm talking about limiting. I said earlier. I said that it's still gonna fit into certain places in society because people who marry in relationships, they want to watch it. I'm still ultimately talking about mitigating it for children consumption. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So let me ask you.
You should have restrictions on your child's phone, though.
You remember think about back in the day when you had to go buy porn, like it was like kind of like a taboo thing. You go inside the store, it's in a black room, ducked off in the corner. It wasn't as up front in your face.
Damn, nigga, you was horny early. I don't remember that.
It wasn't buy a whole DVD set.
It wasn't as accessible. It was not
accessible. It's just I'm saying it's too accessible.
You had to have a DVD player for one.
I love
to play Big Booty 23.
I love looking at women.
All you got to type X.
I love booty. I love breasts.
Thanks.
I still got that one.
Hey, Jay, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I was like 13. We had a regular TV with the knob, right?
Yeah.
And porn used to come on like 33 or 32, so you had to flip it back and forth real fast. All you hear is a little, and then it to go off and shit. Like
because check this out, like I said, in certain atmospheres. In certain atmospheres, like watching like highly stimulated content, it can possibly upcharge you. Like let's say you about to have sex with some female or whatnot. It is useful in certain settings. I'm not trying to disagree with it, but like I said, when you're a kid, you don't need to have that on your brain all the time. When you seeing such advanced content, it removes you from the situation, and when you actually do have it, to where you thinking it's supposed to be like this, she's supposed to act like that. It doesn't make it real at that point. I think that's the problem with a lot of the youth.
It's not good for adults either.
What I think y'all don't understand
is what actually is fucked up, Jay, and this is why a lot of times I think we fall into it's not the man's fault, but it's the man.
There ain't no fault at all.
But think about it, right? Think about right. These women have roses that nothing on your body can replicate that feeling. All of them have it. These women have 12-inch dildos that they will rub it on their shit. Like they have so many sex toys. We have nothing. We have a sock and some oil. That's all we have. These women are literally castigating themselves with the Excalibur sword, and then we say, "Oh, what about the sensitivization? Now I can make you come because you have a 13-incher. Like that's not my problem. I don't know. That's not my fault."
Yeah, but we also talk about the overstimulated female though. Like we still talking about overstimulated party members.
Yeah, but JB, you gotta realize though. You gotta realize y'all leaving out a factor that comes in
hold
when nature.
on. KD Viz made a great point. Your teens are having ED today. That's a fact. They busting these nuts too much. Goddamn vision getting blurry. Goddamn up growing up. Man, that's so hold on, man.
Yeah.
That shit limits. Yeah, it's a reason why that was an actual old saying.
Oh,
that was the reason why that was an actual saying. When you busting too many nuts, you literally losing your essence constantly, man. You busting nut all the time. Your body needs to actually marinate, and your nuts need to form. But if you constantly busting nuts all the time, man, no, that is
that's
true.
not true at all.
You ain't supposed to be out here just busting
I'm
nuts
gonna give y'all a little history lesson when it come to men, right? One thing you cannot defeat is nature. A boy goes through puberty, and a boy has something called testosterone.
Yes.
Okay, and as long as testosterone is burning, a boy is gonna be horny. God did not give us millions and millions of sperm cells that reproduce every 30 days not to use them. Think about what you're saying.
I get what you're saying, Mac, but you don't understand the society that you're living in, where you already brainwashed a part of what's going on. All this busting nuts constantly. They weren't. You think they was really busting nuts in these tribal villages back in the day? You really think that? You think that's all they were thinking about was constantly?
No, they was
They were thinking about survival. So, see, when your mind is preoccupied with other, you ain't thinking about the dumb shit all the time. I'm telling you,
life is too convenient and easy right now.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, JB. But look, you're leaving out one small factor. These niggas is not hunting and surviving 24/7. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. That's what
when
we saying.
They done hunting, they done fed their family, and now it's time to get busy. What is my reward for finding us food?
They don't
know. What are you talking about?
You know I know JB lying. You know I know JB lying. Because as soon as the power is out and there's no internet, you know what people do? They start fucking again. Every time there's a power outage and
there's a lot of COVID, baby. You're right.
It's
a lot of COVID, baby.
I got one.
Hold on. No,
you got a COVID, baby?
Yeah, she comfortable.
Y'all too comfortable. Y'all too relaxed. Society got y'all feeling like I ain't got to do it. I don't have to grind. I don't have to survive. It's about surviving and thriving. If you were back in tribal times, you would not be out there goddamn constantly just worry about getting cat all the time. You got to worry about where your fucking meal coming from. If you're going to be able to grow crops, maintain water.
But want to hunt.
I get exactly what JB saying. And you're absolutely right. What I'm saying is this. Whether you have a tribe or whether you like yourself with a wife and you got a job or whatever you got going on, when you wake up in the morning as a man, right, and you go out and you tackle the world and you do what you're supposed to do, you come home with the fruit. Your wife is supposed to reward you with sex for going out and being prosperous in the world. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, I think about sex 24/7. I walk out the door thinking about no. When I handle my job as a man and I come home and you reap the fruits of my labor, that's my reward. That's what I'm saying.
I got a question for you.
That's your only reward?
Yes.
How many times? I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a big reward. Don't get me wrong. I love busting nuts. But let me ask you, how many times are you busting nuts per day, per week? Consistent.
That's very personal.
It's personal.
Look at Mac.
Yeah, I got my pad. How many times y'all busting nuts?
I was looking for that to keep a track.
Come on, let's be real.
I've been single a long time. That's all I can say.
Let me show you something.
When I'm in a whole phase.
Hold on, go ahead.
Let me show you something with you before Fatty go.
Hold on. Let Ali say something.
Watch this. Let me say this. Let me share this with you though, bro.
Okay.
Before Fatty go, watch this. You know what the differential factor was as well?
What?
Hey man, all of that busting and all that is protein based, right? So what those guys was having a lot of kids, guess what? They women was cooking nice full meals. Bro, Wingstop and Harold's Chicken and Lynn's Barbecue and all the different fast food places is not allowing you to build up the way you need to build up to be able to do that, bro. They was getting meals. They was getting meals.
So are you proving my point? You proving my point, or you proving their point?
I'm proving your point.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
is wrong. JLE is wrong because most of people either starved or were malnourished since the beginning of mankind.
And guess what?
And those people have been 12 kids.
And 13. They probably weren't thinking about busting nuts all the time. Yeah, just
they
because
were.
They had 12 kids don't mean they busting nuts
you
every
didn't have Netflix. You didn't
Right.
have
She got pregnant every time she laid down.
Do you not realize how draining busting nuts is?
They had the protein to do it, brother.
What protein? They were eating bread and
eating
food. They were very
eating food.
But it was organic,
if y'all
though.
niggas don't got high sex drives, just say
really
that.
you guys
No. Don't do that,
Mac.
Chill out,
I don't know what y'all
doing. Mac, don't do that one.
Men stray away from the question at hand. How many nuts are y'all busting a week?
Oh yeah. How many nuts y'all busting a week?
If I'm laid up with a,
I think you got the highest number.
Easy.
Come on.
Hey Jay. Hey Jay, if I'm laid up with a woman every day for a week straight, I'm getting 10 to 14
for a week straight.
A week?
If we laid up week to week, I'm talking about 10 to 14 a week.
That's almost twice a day.
Yeah, almost.
No man got really time for that, but I get what he's saying.
Hold on. What you talking about?
No, I'm saying like this, right? I'm thinking on this scale, right?
A wife will only give you
somebody said.
No, I'm thinking on this scale, right? If you a hard-working man and you working 9 to 5 every day, right?
Yeah.
Just say you working 9 to 5 every day and you live with your woman. You should at least be getting it at least 3 to 4 times a week. At least.
That's a good number. That's cool.
No, that ain't enough. That's not enough.
No, I'm saying the least.
Red Pill said that's not enough. Red Pill said 2 times per day, 14 nuts. Man, you was tripping, bro.
Yeah,
that's too much.
That's too much, bro. I love my wife. I need it. I'm gonna show you right now.
Hey, after a few years, you ain't gonna even want to fuck her like that.
That is true. I got 100% on that.
You eat Alfredo every day of the week. You ain't gonna
look.
My
day be better.
But
you ain't eating Alfredo.
Let's get some numbers.
Y'all only doing that like that when y'all fresh in a relationship and y'all trying to take it there. Once y'all become a couple, that
shit 30 days straight. By day 30, you're going to be tired of that. So having sex twice a day, every single week, you're going to be tired of her like that.
And think about it like this: how often, bro, you got to think about it. After you busting these nuts, like how y'all recovering to where you still busy and at it consistently throughout the day? Like, man,
you are sober.
So no, hell no. Me personally, I could go every day.
I could go every day.
Well, that's why.
You go every day, but you're not going every day. So
no, you're not. No, you're not.
I choose not to. Exactly. I choose not to.
Yeah.
No, you don't choose not to. It's just some days you just ain't. You just want to lay there and cuddle with your girl. You ain't even thinking about it. Sometimes you be more into the intimacy. I just want to lay here and hug my woman and lay down and cuddle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not every day you want to smash.
You gotta find a partner that matches you sexually though, because you can't be in there with a prude and you on 10 every day. You feel me? So you gotta find somebody that balance with that.
Not really though, bro. Like this, right? Even if you have the highest drive, even if you have the highest drive, some days you're gonna want to just chill and relax with her. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna want to like you might want to, but you'll be when you love somebody and you care about them, it's more intimate than sex. Yes, you'll have sex, but you'll want to hold her, lay down and cuddle and shit.
Hold on. Check this out. I will literally, like my wife, I'm trying to get her in like having a daycare, whatnot. She's in the school system right now, but I will literally not bust my wife down just to make sure she got the energy to wake up. Because if I bust her down, bro, she literally oversleep. She's
done.
She's done. So
I don't care about that. You ain't going to work, then.
That means that you're doing a good job. That's not your
problem. I don't care about none of that.
He doing a good job, but at that point, he's also not being supportive.
No, it's not about.
I would literally think about that. I'd be like, damn, if I wake her up at goddamn 1, 2 in the morning, she ain't waking up. I'm gonna knock her out.
Man, I'm gonna try to keep her from going. Goddamn it.
Hey, she's stuck in a position still. Like she's sleeping. She knocked out the position, bro. It's like,
my question is this, Jay. I have a question for you, right? What if your woman getting you off every day? Instead of you doing, because if you are against like a man just relieving himself, what if he's a woman doing that every day?
If the woman is
It's
releasing
different.
herself every day?
How is that different if both of them are releases?
Hold on, you saying that him doing it himself opposed to the woman doing it?
So a man that does it himself, right, every day gets a release, is 7 minutes, and
I mean,
a
I'm gonna
woman
say this.
gets baby oil. Let's go with Casey. Casey gets baby oil, comes to you,
There you
rubs on
go.
your nipples.
I'm
7
gonna tell you.
minutes, and you
I'm
put-
gonna
what's
tell you what the difference is
bro?
gonna be. The difference is with a guy who's constantly doing it with just porn. It absolves him of actually being able to attract the woman to get it naturally. So the skill is gonna be removed at that point if he's not out there possibly getting a wife or possibly
Why
out
do
there
you
getting a
care?
girl. It's gonna hurt the guy. It's not gonna be about
But
me. It's
there's a
probably
point.
gonna be on the
Why
guy.
do you care? Why do you care?
I
People
said
do
about
think
the
they're dirty
kids.
all the time. They smoke, they drink, they see what I'm saying? They have vices that
But that's what I'm saying though. Okay, in America, we know that we got free will and free reign. I'm not against the fact if somebody wants to indulge in something as an adult. But like I said, I think it's still about the children being overly exposed to certain things that can fuck up their mental growing up because they just watching too much of it. That's what I'm talking about. As an adult, like I said, there is certain trigger traits with corn for adults that will get them a more aroused or almost like a goddamn
gets
cable.
kids overstimulated. Cocoa melon.
Cocoa melon.
Hey, go and
What the
watch
hell?
all these. Go and watch all these kitty dun 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 dun.
You got
Like this shit overstimulates kids like crazy.
You got a point. I will give you that.
Are we going to outlaw that? And what about sugar? Right? Sugar.
I think we should ban sugar. I ain't gonna lie.
There we go. Let's start.
Sugar
let's start
is
off
poison.
Hold on. Let's start off with a few things then. Okay, maybe corn being the first. Maybe we need. That's why I say, man, y'all are against the stimulation. I mean,
We should outlaw.
putting stipulations on society. Sometimes it's necessary for societies to kind of thrive in a certain direction. Just
We
being
should
honest.
outlaw wigs.
Wigs, yeah, I'm with you, Fatty.
And
Fatty for president.
Well then let's
said
cut off
wigs?
WIG.
hypergamy.
Yes,
Let's cut
we
off
should.
hypergamy.
Wigs and what?
You can't
Beijing.
cut out hypergamy.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
something that's
man,
not
I think
biological.
you can't cut off no
I
sex
like a little.
drive.
I like a little chick with a little nice wig, man. You know.
Damn, that's crazy.
You look at you. Back in.
First one.
Hey man, I'm from the hood, man. I like hood, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I ain't gonna lie.
First
Look,
one.
I'm with
Anybody
you, brother.
Anybody
Man,
else?
all them
want to,
sophisticated hoes scared of me, man.
Anybody
gonna
else
lie
want
to
to
you.
give anything on that topic, man, before we close this out? Anybody else want to?
Hey
piece
fellas,
in
just
anything?
get a VPN, man. Like,
I want to
don't let-
ban child
Don't let
support.
these Americans supremacists
Or change it up.
take your corn away. Just get the VPN and put it on Toronto or Paris, and you're going to get it.
It's not gonna be for this generation, man. It's probably gonna be for the next generations to come of like just kind of limiting the exposure of it. I'm not gonna say it's gonna mitigate everything, but limiting some of the exposure will possibly help kids who are
You are selfish.
overstimulating and stuff.
But
Like-
Jay, you
like-
can't.
like-
Jay, you
like-
can't say
like-
next generations to come when we talking about corn now. Come
Hey,
on.
Redfield, you know what's crazy? These men had Pinky and all these things, and now he wants to cut the privileges for the next generation.
Nah,
He
like
already got it.
what's
He already got it.
Yeah,
and
he
said,
already
"Oh, I
good.
got
He
it."
we
locked
had
in.
Cherokee. What D-Dub said? Cherokee. We had Cherokee.
That's
Hey,
some
remember,
serious
we
Nah,
were
Somebody said
stars.
Pinky,
Now you
I'm
got
all over
fans.
it.
Yeah, Pinky was the truth. Pinky big toe
Nah,
right now, but she was
I'll
alright
say-
back in the day.
I'll say this, man. For me and a lot of my friends, I will say porn was definitely out there, and it wasn't something that we should have been indulging in. I will say that early on.
I want to thank
Yeah,
porn.
I'm just
for
being
saving-
honest.
I want to thank.
I think
porn
it
for
helped a
saving me
lot.
from-
I
from
think it
bad
helped a lot of people mature.
Because
Nah,
a
help-
lot of
help
time
you-
I was going
help
to
you
do
waste-
decisions, I rub one up and I was like, oh shit, I don't like
And-
it.
I think
made-
between corn and Luke, it helped all of us get
It
through.
help
Luke?
you waste. It help you waste a
crazy.
lot of semen. It help you waste a lot of semen. Tire
Facts.
yourself out. Not focus on what you should have been focused
Put
on.
them in
You
the
Oh,
places.
you
Jay,
in a room
Jay,
thinking about jerking the chicken off when you should have been outside. Being
Jay,
more social.
you
being an
just
athlete.
unlocked. You
that's
just
what you should
unlocked
be doing.
Pandora's box, bro. You know what happened? All these
What?
kids that's degenerates, they was supposed to get jacked off. They didn't jacked off they real kids that God gave them, that God was gonna give them, and then they didn't put the messed up seed into a woman. I think you didn't figure some shit out.
Oh no, I'm so
could be.
AJ. When the school shootings go up 170%, I'm going to blame you. That's your
That was supposed to be a jack off baby. Now
That's
see
your
now
fault.
I'm
Yeah,
pro
that's your
corn
fault
now.
for banning these people.
Yeah, I'm pro corn.
Does the quality of semen matter when you out here just throwing it away, like the way how the body rejuvenates? Man, that can go so deep, man. I feel like it could go like
You just have to
into a
drink
place
just a
we
Coke.
can't explain.
As soon as you do it, just add to Rica Coca-Cola, you'll be good to go. Next round.
Let's blame Fatty then. We're gonna blame Fatty for
Fatty he on that diet shit though.